Well, looks like runoff season has definitely started. Glad I don't have to wade across that today. Normally when I come up here I can just wade across up there and it doesn't even cover halfway up my boots. So I think that'd be halfway up my legs today. Right, I'm going to head on downstream. Fortunately, we have a very nice bridge across this creek. Glad we have. Then we'll be trying to wade across there. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's some good water down in there today. The sun's just peeking through the trees. This was all frozen solid last time I was there. A little bit of snow still. That's not a bad thing. You don't want it all to melt at one time. It's much better if it can melt slow. Right. I will head on my way, do some more later. Well, that's cool, because this is the first time in about 3 years that I've actually seen water flowing down this piece of creek. First time in about 3 years. That is really good to see. It's not good to see that I've now got to cross it, of course. But it's actually really easy to get over here. That's rather nice. Just step over on this corner. So that is, kid you not, the first time in 3 years I've seen water flowing through there. That is really good to see. Yeah. And not much snow in the meadow. That's even better to see. It means I can get round this. Last time I came down through here in snowy season, it was literally like 2 foot of snow across here, and it was a real pain in the arse to get across. But I got across this meadow. The only trouble this time of the year is you can run into some severe wet spots, but I am absolutely pleased as hell to see water in that creek. Yeah, that's good. Most of it's snow melt, but that's good. Water in the forest is what you need, eh? Yeah. No water in the forest, there is no forest. Very simple. Right, I will continue. Well, my first bit of trail to clear on this one. I'll just get all my gear off and get these little ones cleared the hell out of here. I suspect to find quite a few more of those up here, I should think. So, let's get my gear off. We'll set this up down here somewhere. Probably there. Let's get that cleared out of there. This is why I've come up here today, is basically get rid of all this crap as ever. Good old silky. Looks a treat. See when I'm cutting from here. All the stuff out of the way. Right, what do we got? I can cut that and probably drag it over there, I suspect. Put some tension in. They're a little bit more manageable sizes. There we go. Job dropped. Just take a bit more off that one. Right. Job dropped. Yeah. Can't see any more down there, so put this away. Can't see any more down there, so I will put this away for now. Well, they cleared out a lot of trees in here. I suspect further down the trail will be a lot more of this. One bit done. Every little bit helps. Clear it off the trail, keeps trails walkable. Yeah, stops people making all these bypass trails, that's for sure. Right. Wow. I'm surprised they cleared out this piece in here, because there wasn't a great deal of big timber in there. There's a few, but they did cut that piece. There was an old logging track up through there. They did cut that piece. I got to guess probably 50 to 80 years ago. That was all cleared out up through there, so I guess they are coming around for harvest time, so whatever. Either way, it's ironic. This tree here I actually cut out, was it last year or the year before? Like I always say in my other videos, you always find trees down in the same place. Right, sun's coming up. I'm heading exactly that way, but I think I shall go round because there's too much slash in there at the moment. I normally just cut straight across this valley, but it's too much slash in there at the moment, so I think I'm going to take the proper trail. Didn't take long to get to the next one. Could have kept the saw out for that one. Right, I will just cut that out of there and be on my way. Now this is what I call better harvesting. Obviously they've come in and had all the big trees out. There were some seriously big trees in this area, but instead of clearing everything out, they've left a whole bunch of what I would call medium-sized little trees in here. Yeah, so instead of clearing them right out, yeah, they've kind of selectively cut them, which is a much better way of doing it, rather than clearing out all the trees right down to the ground and literally turning it into a wastescape. As you can see on this side, they've done the same thing too. Well done. Yeah, a lot of the trees in here, because these become nursery trees too, all down in the ground here. Once the sun hits the ground, all those millions of little trees will start sprouting out of everywhere. If you always look along the sides of the trails, there's always lots of little trees coming out of here. But if you've looked, they've actually left quite a lot of these medium-sized trees in here, all down through there as well. Look, they're no good for timber. They can't cut them for timber. Absolute waste of time cutting them. You can't do anything with them other than cut them and get them out of the way. But they've actually left a whole bunch of them all the way down through there. Look at that. They've taken out the big stuff. There was some really big trees in here, some good timber trees, and they've left the other stuff. Very nice to see. That is a much better way of doing it, rather than this relentless clear cutting right down to mud so it looks like a bloody desert. That is much better, because this forest will recover very fast. You'll be surprised how quickly this will recover. Now the sun is hitting the ground, so we get the benefit of both worlds here. Mankind obviously needs the timber for various things, and the forest needs to regrow. So the well done whoever did that. That's actually a nice way of doing it, because I can already see, looking in amongst the ground here, there's already lots and lots of little trees in there. So give it a couple of years, this will be completely green again in here. Very nicely done. Excellent job. Right, that one across the trail is a little bit bigger. Now, this used to be a funny little dip. It used to be a very nice tree on that corner, that great big one there. It's a beautiful tree. But it, this log down here, about 4 or 5 years ago, I came down here, it was absolutely lashing down with rain. And that one was right across this corner, blocking the way. And now here we are, all these years later, and there's another tree almost in the same spot, in the same dip, doing exactly the same thing at the same angle. Weird, isn't it? Right, that one's going to take a little bit of extra cutting, so I'm going to have to set this up over here somewhere out the way. And let's just put that there, I guess. And then probably get that one out of there. Isn't that ironic? Now, this is where I should have had my bigger saw with me, but this one will take care of it. It's fine. This one I'm going to have to cut up into some smaller bits, I think. Let's have a look. I wonder if I can. I'm going to try and cheat. I'm going to try and cut it here and see if I can spin it round. If any of you people out there are still debating on whether to buy a silky saw, buy one. Yeah. Go that way. Go that way. That one's not going to roll. Alright, next one across the trail. I'm going to stand the camera on there this time. See whether I can do it without knocking the camera over. Lots of this small stuff across here, which is not unusual when they've just been logging, because it all tends to fall everywhere. Now, not sure if that'll come round there, it might. There we go. Well, that was fairly straightforward. And the camera didn't fall over. That's good. Nice when they work out like that. Right. Let's get this pack and everything back on. It is nice sometimes to come out without a pack, but I can tell you now that the time you do that will be the time that you get stuck, and then you have to spend the night and you ain't got half your gear with you. So like I always say in my other videos, make sure you got everything with you that you need to spend the night. Right, that was an easy one to get out. Right, on to the next one. Well, in Sod's Laws fashion, this one's not even 100 feet down from where the last one was. The only problem with this one is it's rot as a turd in there. So these are the trees that you really have to watch. These branches are really bad eye poke branches. So I think I'm going to need to try and take this one off here somewhere, because other than that I ain't going to be able to move it. As you can hear, this one is really dry. Would make amazing firewood, but right, let's see if I can get this one off here somewhere. Maybe here. This stuff is actually hard to cut, it really is. Right. I also don't have my wedge with me. I normally have a little wooden wedge that I can put in here. Okay, it's starting to make noise. There she goes. I only have one saw with me today, so I've got to be careful what I cut and how I cut it. Job done. And that's how you move a tree. Right, let's get this pack and everything back on. Yeah. Pretty good. I will take that as done. Right. Now I'm not going to put the camera away, because I have a feeling I'm going to find some more just down that way. So let me see what I got. I do have a video of this forest. I just walked past a very big tree stump, which was a huge tree. I remember looking at that last year, but it actually had a big split in it, so it wouldn't have taken long for that one to come down. So they've left some of these decent sized ones here. Yeah. Now, one thing I can tell you is that view through there, that mountain. I've never seen that view from here before, because it was all forest. But now I can see it. I know exactly where that valley is over there. I quite often take a shortcut through that valley, which is the way I was going to go today. I was just going to cut straight across, because it actually saves me a huge walk. It saves me about 4 or 5 kilometers to where I was going to go by heading straight through that forest up there, where the light green and dark green is. I usually cut straight through there, head dead south straight towards that big mountain. But as you can see, I can now see it from here, and I've never been able to do that before. So good and bad and everything, I guess. Yeah, I can also see the top of Yates Mountain over there. I know that's Yates because it's the only one in the area that looks like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird when you can actually see through the forest. It's kind of weird. But I'm very pleased to see that they have left a lot of decent sized trees. I know some of them aren't in the best of health, which is exactly why they've left them. But a lot of aspen in here they've left. So many small trees in here that are going to sprout up like crazy, so that is really good to see. And I can also see huge piles of logs that they haven't forwarded out of here yet, so it's they certainly haven't finished taking all the timber out of here yet. I can see that because there's big piles of cut logs and stacked. They just haven't forwarded it out to the road. It got a bit wet in here, so I think they packed up for the year. So I'm just about to get back into the forest over this side, and let's see what's left of that. So this bit of footage is for a guy called Mark at the trail. He found one of these out in the middle of nowhere once. Same as this. Has a top, nothing in it, just a grill. And just an opening in the bottom. No idea what the hell they are for, couldn't tell you. But this is one that I happen to know is in this area. And he found one in the middle of nowhere down in the Sheep Valley. And there's one here too. And I could not tell you. No clue whatsoever as to what they are for, no clue. But there's one, that's for you, Mark. I knew I'd come back past this way one day. But the creek is flowing pretty good through here, so I have to cross this creek, unfortunately. But I will cross this creek and do some more once on the other side. Well, I've done half this trail up to basically where they finished logging. Everything down the original trail is good. I didn't see anything down there, so I'm not going to go too far down that way. This is a trail I like to do a bit of trail clear up on every year. It is actually part of the Trans-Canada Trail, and my theory is if everybody does a little bit on part of this trail, it helps keep it nice. It's not a trail I use very often. It's occasionally in the summer I come down this way because it's a nice walk. But well, now they cut half the forest out. But I come down through here. Something's been eating this pole. I don't know what's been having a go at this pole, but every year this pole gets less and less on it. Something keeps chewing on it. Must be something in there that's good for me, I guess. Who knows? Won't be long before that thing snapped in half. Yeah. Right, so I will continue up through here. This is where the forest used to start. There's a short band of forest. Some horse poo from last year. I did notice some fresh horse tracks up here. So somebody has been up there this year on a horse. It's not a wild horse because it's got shoes. There are a lot of wild horses around, but this particular one had shoes. A lot of snow too. Some of this snow is still considerably deep. So this is where you walked into the forest at this point, and as you can see, just up here, as the sign says, active logging. Yes, so just be careful. They haven't finished up in here either, because I did notice on the way in there was a whole bunch of stuff that they haven't skidded out of here yet. But the ground was getting so soft it was getting ridiculous, so they couldn't really work in here, I don't suspect. Right, I'm going to continue on that way. There was a couple of small ones I noticed on the way in that needed just clearing off. I will clear those off and do some more at the far end there. Well, as I said this morning on my way out here, this is the first time I've seen this creek flowing in about 3 years now, so this is nice to see. Look at that. We did have some extreme snow there the other week. One tree root was made like a little waterfall, cool in it. Aerates the water, good for it. Yeah. Really cool to see that flowing again. Fair amount of water coming through there too. But, yeah, look at that. Very nice. Still loads of snow up in here. I've just waded through a whole bunch of snow. That's only about a foot. Yeah, I just waded through a whole bunch of snow across the trail there, which was a bit of a pain. Yeah. This piece is fairly easy to get across. You can see where people cross the creek, the trail gets wide. And that's one of the problems with trails and creek crossings and stuff like that. It tends to eat away the banks both sides like that. However, you can easily step across that piece right there. Very easy. Right. So, I think since the rest of this trail is uphill on slippery ice, it's quite noticeable on the way down. But look at that. Like I say, 3 years since I've seen that flowing. So that is actually really good. Hopefully that's a good sign for the rest of the year. Who knows, eh? Right, so I think I will call that it for now. I like to do this piece of trail. There's a whole section of this trail. It's all part of the Trans-Canada Trail. And there's about 20 kilometres of this I walk many times a year. It's just a 20 kilometre stretch. And there's always a bunch of deadfall. I cleared about 6 or 7 out of there today. It's a lot of small stuff, some bigger. But yeah, that was good. Good fun day stomping through the forest. Get a bit of exercise. Helps keep the trails clear. It's nice. Well, I think I will call that the end of this one, because I've got to go up a long hill now on some very icy bits, so I need both hands. Thank you for coming along. This is what I do on the weekends for fun. Right, catch you on the next one.